welcome back to Troopers Travels. I'm currently on Chapel Hill in Swinton. Just doing a local blog today really. There's a few things I want to look at, but then obviously this is currently Chapel Hill. Obviously behind me, if I go that way, you can see the actual old church hall, and obviously for Memorial Sunday they've put all these crosses up with soldiers what died during war. Obviously for memorial tomorrow, so I'll just spin it round. Obviously this place, this Chapel Hill, there used to be a medieval chapel, a 12th century medieval chapel on here before obviously St Margaret's were built up there. However, they moved the actual chapel ruins up there in the church, so I'll let you know where that is. So just have a quick look around here. So have a quick look at these. And it's in shape of a cross. It looks lovely, this. All names. Like I said, that's where Church Hall is now. There used to be a chapel, a Norman chapel on this site. I'll give you a bit more information about that shortly. But and obviously that bit there is the town cross, which I think were placed here in 2004. It was moved from church, from St Margaret's. So I'll just give you some more information about that. So we'll go down to the Buttercross Swinton, or known as the town cross. This was actually removed from church, and I think in 2004 it was put here. In fact, there's actually a plaque there. Town Market Cross, 12th century rose base, restored in 2004. So the known as the Butler Cross, or the Swinton Cross, the town cross, would have provided a meeting place and a location to trade goods. The actual cross was probably destroyed in the 16th and 17th century, and all that survived with the plinth and the base, which is them two there. Like I said, it was removed from its original place of Chapel Hill and moved to church, and then it was returned. There's actually a video of them actually doing it. They were finally returned, obviously, to its original place in 2004. The new cross was added in an attempt to recreate the how it actually originally looked. I don't know what it costs, but I'm glad it's been returned back. But that's obviously your plinth and your base, and that were added after. But I think they do this every year for Remembrance Sunday. They put names of soldiers what lost their lives. Lest we forget them, eh? Never forget them. Currently on Fitzwilliam Street in Swinton. and according to form there's remains of an old pub called the Gaping Goose. I think it's on the right hand side, but I'll just show you this. It's only a brief. And oldest pub in Swinton this were, allegedly. Straight opposite St Margaret's Church, Soft Church, Church Street, Fitzwilliam Street is straight opposite. Just coming up to it now. It's a one-way system and all this, so I'll be careful if it's a bit noisy, just bear with me. I bet they think I'm mad. So on this road, obviously that's the original doorway. Possibly windows. Made of sandstone as well in it. It was known as the Gaping Goose, or locally known as the Swan with Two Necks. The pub operated a coaching inn for several years and was the oldest pub in Swinton. At its closure around the time of the First World War, the building became the home of John Kemp. So, if that were a window, that's definitely a doorway. Interesting, just little fact. Currently at the Swinton War Memorial. It's a fine monument. Which tomorrow morning there'll be quite a lot gathering around here. I'll give you a bit of information about this. So a bit of information about this Swinton Memorial. It was unveiled on the 11th of September 1921 by the Earl Fitzwilliam and was dedicated by the Bishop of York. It cost over £1,300 to build, and the money to build the memorial was raised by the public sponsors. Earl Fitzwilliam kindly donated this land which the memorial was built. The memorial was designed by architect Sir Reginald Bloomfield and built by Messrs Tyers and Guest. The memorial contains the names of 203 soldiers lost during the First World War and 48 during the Second World War. Nice little sword on there. Those names included is Thomas Norman Jackson, who was awarded the Victoria Cross. An extract from the London Gazette 27th November 1918 describes why Thomas was awarded the Victoria Cross. Now I'm not sure if that's that one. I'm not sure what that's for, but I'll have a look at that one in a second. It said on the morning of the 27th of September 1918, Lance Corporal Jackson was the first volunteer to follow Captain C.H. Frisbee across the Canal du Nord in his rush against enemy machine gun posts. When two comrades he followed, his officer across the canal, rushed the post, captured 2 machine guns and so enabled the company to advance. Late in the morning, Lance Corporal Jackson was the first to jump into the German trench which his platoon had to clear, and after doing further excellent work was unfortunately killed. Throughout the day, this NCO showed great valour and devotion to the duty and set an inspiring example to all. Yeah, so see if we can find his name. I mean, there's other names on there as well, from 2nd First and Second World War. Thomas Norman Jackson. Let me just see if I can find it. There's that one there. It's that one in gold. Got VC. All heroes. All heroes. I mean, it's thanks to them we live in the world we live in today. But it's such a sacrifice to get their lives up. Yeah. But there will be a service here tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and I'll possibly go down to the one at Romarsh tomorrow. Another memorial for Thomas Norman Jackson. Serial number 20810, Lance Corporal Thomas Norman Jackson, 1st Battalion Coldstream Guards, for most conspicuous bravery and self-sacrifice in the attack across the Canal de Ford near Graincourt. So they've given one on his own as well. Right, up to church. Right, up to St Margaret's. I think it's closed now, unfortunately. Oh, I wanted to have a look at it, to be fair. Lovely church, this. But, like I said previously, there's a story behind this church. And it's closed, I'm afraid, so I can't really go inside and have a look at it. I know there was a service at 10 o'clock. I was hoping to get up, but I didn't get up in time. Unless that's the main entrance around this side. We'll have a look anyway, and I'll give you a bit more information about this place. So what do we know about St Margaret's? Well, when the original chapel, the one I spoke about earlier, which I'll show you ruins of it, were pulled down in 1815, in 1817 they built a new church. Now, I don't know if you can see that. If I can just zoom in on that. Without checking. The other side of that tower, you can see red. If you can pick it up right with light. That was due to a fire. They had a fire which destroyed the church apart from the tower. So the Church of St Margaret's, let me just zoom back out. The Church of St Margaret was destroyed by a fire in 1897, and all the tower survived. So that the red stuff on that side there is where the fire. So they managed to save actual tower. I think they come from Rotherham, all of it, shown Mexborough, fire brigade. Managed to put it out, but obviously this bit went and that bit remained. The body of the new church was built around this tower using local quarries at Mexborough, Dorfield and Houghton Roberts. The new church was then consecrated by the Archbishop of York in October 1899. So they managed to save the tower and then they built round it. According to form, there's an organ in there, which obviously it's not open. The organ was built in 1903 by Harrison of Durham and cost a sum of £637,000. It's been care protected over over the years. The 1980s there was a problem with the pipes, apparently, where many were collapsing under its own weight. And the last 100 years the remains of the organ remains in its original condition. Obviously they reckon it cost 96,000 in 2006. Rebuild took place in 1990 in 2006, costing 96,000. The organ is entirely original, and all the pipework remains, making this only the one of 2 Harrison organs in the original condition in South Yorkshire. Be interesting to know what the other one were. But what we'll do, we'll take a walk to this chapel, what's left of it. Remember, we're going through the oldest door in Swinton. It's a pity I can't go in church and have a look. Man, I could ring priest up, couldn't I? He might let me in. So we're currently coming up to the remains of the 12th century chapel, obviously, like we said, from Chapel Hill, which is down there, which I've just walked up from. I should imagine this is what doorway. Oh, I might be wrong. Yeah, this is the doorway. The remains of the actual 12th century chapel, what's left, what's come from Chapel Hill. See some pillars there. Apparently they had an heritage lottery payment to keep these intact, because they're all sandstone and they're just crumbling. And if you go to the right, this is what remains at internal chapel. I actually got a picture and I'll show you that. But this were an archway which they removed later on because it became unsafe. 12th century chapel. You can see archway, that's what stanchions what used to hold the actual arch. So it would have been like there, wouldn't it? If I go back a little bit more. That's better for you, I don't know. I've actually got a picture of that which I'll show you shortly. There's actually oh, that were good timing, wasn't it? 11 bells. That made me jump, I didn't expect that. Right, I'll say a little bit more about this now. Yeah, so there's some type of little plaque engraved on the floor. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, medieval Norman arch for chancellery. They had like a zigzag pattern and all above it on archway. Incidentally, obviously when the initial church burnt down, all the people what were there, they were absolutely gobsmacked because it was the jewel of the village. They actually were just stood back in awe, and one gentleman basically apparently took his cap off and basically handed it round for people to put some money in his cap, and I think, well, all the coppers and things, and it were got about £6 to watch new church, which were obviously built again after that. But it's a shame that, but like I say, at least that church tower is intact anyway. And but you can actually see it red on it. That's where the fire were. That red bit either side at that archway window. So the oldest door in Swinton. Shall we go back in and out? And incidentally, these three graves here is the guy what negotiated Pottery Ponds, the lease to Fitzwilliams, or the Marquis of Rockingham, or the Rockingham Pottery. Yeah, so these are, that looks like it's been redone. So that was the guy. Pity I can't go inside though, that's the thing. So a bit more history of Swinton. Just give some information really. Obviously Swinton is a small town in Rotherham. The earliest sign of the settlement is a prehistoric man-made ridge which runs through Waff Wood, which I think you should be aware of that, Waff Wood. That's where there's like a mental hospital in that wooded area. Apparently Roman coins were found near Rockingham Road. A vase of over 300 to 400 coins was found in 1853. This would suggest there was a Roman settlement at some time, hence the Roman Ridge. I just wonder if it's open, that church. Let me just have a little look. Is it going in? Might as well get a cup of tea. Swinton was held by Roger de Bussy, the Lord of Tickle, at the time of 1086. He was a Norman baron who participated in the conquest of the 1066 Battle of Hastings. He was tenant-in-chief of 86 manors in Nottingham, 46 in Yorkshire, some in Derbyshire, some in Lincolnshire, and one in Devon. So that's high. He must have been pretty important, possibly third biggest man in England as a Norman. Just another snippet for you. Obviously in the Domesday Book of 1086 the area is recorded as having a wastewood pasture suitable for rearing pigs, hence the name Swinetown or Swinton. So that makes sense if it's true. This comes from the Anglo-Saxon for like swine farm. For centuries the village remained rural, although in the 18th century two potteries were established. So that would be Don Pottery and obviously the Rockingham Pottery. Rockingham Pottery, also known as Pottery Ponds, I've visited there previously, became a famous manufacturer of porcelain, and one of the original kilns, Waterloo Kiln, still stands there, which I did a video on that recently. Other industries in the town include glass making and canal barge engineering, possibly Waddington's. Swinton also grew as a result of coal mining industry, with large local pits at Manvers, Wath, Kilnest and Barnborough, which I've not done Barnborough yet. A national school was opened in 1853 and a board school in 1875. Electricity first came to the town with the tramway from Rotherham in 1907. Obviously, following the miners' strike and collapse of mining industry, there are still good industries in Swinton. The old Manvers pit, the area now houses coal centres, factories and offices, which have provided good employment for people. But it did grow, didn't it? It did grow big time. But I think that's about it really. All I can do is, pity I can't get in the church, but not to worry. I think I'll call it my sister's now. Cup of tea if she's in. But we've enjoyed that one. It's only a shorty one, local vlog. Pity I can't get in church. I did want to go in church, but I hope it's throw a bit of light on area for you. I mean, we've seen that old chapel, haven't we? That was 12th century chapel, what's ruins of it. I was talking to a gentleman down there, and it's Cenotaph, and he told me the guy what had the VC, won the VC, who obviously got killed, his grandfather's buried in here, and so it's just on the right hand side. But I'll have a look when I go down if I can see that. But yeah, it's got a lot of history, Swinton, really, hasn't it? But I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Well, I hope you have anyway. And it'll be cup of tea time at my sister now. But from me, it's goodbye from St Margaret's. See you later. Bye.